Hey, good morning, friends. Today is Wednesday, February the 12th, 2025, and the time now is 7:43 a.m. So, friends, I want to talk briefly about the whole situation surrounding the Gulf of Mexico slash Gulf of America. Basically, finally, actually, officially, the Gulf of Mexico is now the Gulf of America, at least to an extent. So we all know that when Donald Trump took office this past January, okay, on January the 20th, 2025, this year, which was also Martin Luther King's Day, Donald Trump signed several executive orders, and Donald Trump have been signing more and more and more executive orders. And my friends, so far, at least since I last counted, Donald Trump had signed over 200 executive orders. At least I do believe it is approaching about 300 now. And he hasn't been in office for an entire month yet. One of the executive orders that Donald Trump signed was basically to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Now, yesterday, okay, I finally noticed name change. So on Google Maps, the Gulf of Mexico has changed. Yes, I have noticed two maps. One map shows the Gulf of Mexico slash Gulf of America in a parenthesis. However, friends, another Google map shows just the Gulf of America. So once again, to repeat, Google has finally changed, okay, or updated its map, Google Maps. In this case, the Gulf of Mexico, okay, the name has been changed to officially being the Gulf of America. Now, friends, what Donald Trump did is a pretty bold move. But once again, as I've said many times, Donald Trump has been doing so many things that I do believe could backfire against him and against the United States. One being that by changing the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, it is as if the United States personally, okay, as a country, owns the Gulf of Mexico, which is now, quote unquote, the Gulf of America. It is as if the United States own the Gulf as a property. But also, it is a very bold move and it is disrespectful. I do believe by signing an executive order, just grab a pen and just sign something on a document that you can change something, okay, that has a very strong relationship or strong history in the region far before the United States was created or even during when the United States was created. Doing so when you know that both you and Mexico, you do share the Gulf. So, friends, in this case, I believe that what Donald Trump did, the changing of the Gulf of Mexico's name to the Gulf of America, demonstrates desperation and insecurity. So far, the Trumpers out there, the MAGAs and MAGA supporters, they are jubilating the white supremacists, okay, and the American nationalist, okay, the nationalist, the ethno nationalist, the religious, okay, Christian nationalists. They are jubilant. They are excited. But this is going to backfire. Now, one thing that is very interesting is that these are the same people who were throwing tantrum when lots of statues throughout the United States were falling as a result of protests that were going on throughout the country, okay, led by the Black Lives Matter, BLM movement, and other movement, Occupy movement, and so on, resulting in lots of statues, okay, statues of prominent people in U.S. history, whose history was or whose history is full of controversies, okay, contradictions. And these people are throwing tantrums saying that their history is being attacked. For Donald Trump to grab a pen and sign a document changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, basically saying, fuck off Mexico, we own this natural feature. It doesn't belong to you. It is a humiliation, a disrespectful to Mexico. But I do believe it's going to backfire. But also in this case, what Mexico could do, Mexico can actually, okay, the Mexican president can actually sign an executive order, and the Mexican parliament can actually approve it, which basically state that, okay, America, if this is what you're going to do, we do have a part of the Gulf of Mexico slash Gulf of America. We're going to name that the Gulf of Mexico. So in this case, we are going to have two Gulfs. The parts of the Gulf that belongs to the United States, that is the US's part, you can have your Gulf of America. The parts of the Gulf that is Mexico's part, we're going to name it or name them the Gulf of Mexico. In this case, you're not just going to place your name in the Gulf to get all the benefit, all the notoriety. And this is it's a geopolitical move. Okay, it is a power move. It is a move that basically demonstrate, or at least presume to demonstrate, might. Yes, the Gulf of America does carry the name, okay, of the two Americas continent, America. However, in today's world, because of the might, the power, okay, the information control of the United States in terms of its soft power, when we think of America, we think of the United States. We do not think, I do believe, as a global community, and even Americans themselves do not think automatically, okay, about the two American continents. They think about the United States of America. So in this case, I do believe the Trumpers and Donald Trump could try to play it off like this name change was to basically create a neutral situation. But I do believe it does have a long-term implication, which basically was meant to work in the United States' favor. But I do believe that Donald Trump and his supporters, okay, his administration, had created a can of worm, that they've opened a can of worm. In this case, we could see name change throughout the world. Africa could be one such region of the world which could be experiencing lots of name change. Throughout Africa, there are streets and places named by or name of, okay, white people, Europeans. For example, one of the most prominent features on the African continent is the Victoria Fall or Lake Victoria. Why not call it Mandela Fall or Lake Mandela? Okay? And there are so many names of cities, of towns, of villages, of streets all over Africa that were named, that still carry the name of white men, Europeans. And we can see that throughout the world, throughout the Caribbean, throughout the Americas, throughout Latin America, and so on. So perhaps in the far or near future, we could be seeing name change or name changes happening throughout the world, which in this case could see the prominence in terms of soft power that Europeans, okay, or European people have garnered for themselves, okay, as they basically pound on the rest of the world, is going to come to an end. So now, friends, please tell me what you think, and I really want to know what you think. Because I do believe as much as changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America could be argued that the move was a neutral move, I do believe it's a humiliation, a disrespect to Mexico, and it's also was meant to work in the favor of the United States in terms of its name recognition and in terms of its soft power. Now, friends, once again, tell me what you think. But friends, I'm going to end here. I want to thank you for being a member of the Echoing Voice community, friends. But most especially and most importantly, I want to thank you a lot for watching the Echoing Voice. Peace.